Hello, 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 and welcome to the Good Vibes Lifestyle live stream happening every Thursday. So, I'm Leslie Klein, your host, and I'm here to help you raise your vibration because during these crazy times, we need to focus on what's good and positive. So, I am streaming live to Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. So, you can comment if you're watching live. You can comment if you're watching the replay too, because I will still see those. But if you do comment while I'm live, I can put those on the screen. If you want to say hello or, tell me where you're watching from. I'd love to know. So I've got a jam-packed show today. There's so much going on, and it's a very exciting time. So let's get into it. And I always love to talk about the astrological news because, we've got some powerful cosmic energies unfolding this week. And I'm all about helping us to elevate our awareness and both on our mind, soul, and collective consciousness levels. So, let's start out where the sun is. So, the sun is in the sign of Aquarius. That started on January 19th. And the Aquarian energy that we're in right now has to do with innovation, independence, and forward thinking. Um, Aquarian energy values originality and freedom and humanitarian ideals. Um, Aquarian energy is also focused on big picture ideas, technology, and social change, which is why we see so much social change happening, in the protest, in activism of all types. We're going to talk more about that. But we're getting close. But our Aquarian energy, as far as the sun is concerned, is going to shift next week when the sun will go into the sign of Pisces. So happy birthday to the Pisces coming up, and happy birthday to the Aquarians that are still celebrating their birthdays up until the 19th. So, the Pisces season has to do with intuition, imagination, emotional sensitivity, and spiritual connection. But we are still in that Aquarian energy, and we're actually going to have double that energy on the new moon that's coming up. So, let's shift here and talk about the moon. So, we're in a waning phase of the moon. We had the full moon on February 1st in the sign of Leo. And so now the moon has gotten smaller and smaller. It's been waning. And as we get closer to February 17th, when we have the new moon. And so the new moon will be in the sign of Aquarius. It goes into that sign, it shifts into the new moon. It's exact at 7:01 a.m. And well, I have some comments, but will go to those in just a couple of minutes here. So the new moon, February 17th, is on Tuesday. And not only is there a new moon, we've got some other energies that happen on this exact date. So this date of February 17th is very important. So we're moving through this waning phase of the moon. It's a natural time for reflection and release. And time to let go of anything that no longer serves you. So we're in that waning, letting go phase right up until the new moon. And we want to let go of anything that no longer serves our highest good. And as we approach the new moon, we have the perfect energetic portal to reset, realign, and set intentions for the new cycle, the next cycle of growth. So it's a great time to journal, to meditate, to visualize what you want to leave behind and what you're ready to invite in. So set your intentions, get them ready at least, and you want to set them on the new moon on Tuesday. And, have some creative goals that are aligned with future forward thinking and community minded innovation. So the other big thing that's the big news about February 17th is that it's also a solar eclipse. So we always have the eclipses either on a new moon or a full moon. And we always have them pairs. So if we have one on the new moon, you're going to have one 2 weeks later on the full moon. And we'll talk more about that later. But the solar eclipse, this is where the sun is, the new moon is blocking the sun. And these eclipses, so this is a solar eclipse, These eclipses are like triple new moons or triple full moons, so it's a lot of power. The solar eclipses bring accelerated change and awaken new perspectives. And since in the sign of Aquarius, this energy invites innovation, freedom of thought, the courage to break from old thought and patterns. So you want to use this time to envision your highest potential and step into your unique path, because the Aquarian energy has to do with our eccentricity, our individuality, our uniqueness. And so that's really important. Now, so new moon, solar eclipse, and it is the year of the fire horse, what I've been talking about for the last few months. It happens, it starts, the Chinese New Year starts this new moon. So the energy of the fire horse we get to bring into it, and it's very connected to what we've already talked about. Fire horse energy inspires boldness and movement and stepping into your power. It's a year that we're going to take calculated risk and lead with confidence and embrace adventure. So, this next year, we're just now starting this lunar new Chinese New Year in the energy of the fire horse. So, horses, think about it, they gallop, they move, they're very fast. There's a lot of energy to them. And then you have the energy of fire, the element of fire. And fire is fast moving as well, very powerful. Um, so the let's add the fire horse energy to this. Fire horse energy inspires boldness, movement, and stepping into your power. Oh, I already said that. So align this energy by embracing challenges, um, leading with confidence, and staying true to your personal power. Whether you're releasing the old, stepping into innovation, or embodying courageous energy, these celestial influences invite you to raise your vibration and expand your consciousness and live with intention. So that's all that's happening on February 17th. So my suggestion is do some meditations, do some settings of intentions. Uh, all on that day, or start any new projects that you're starting on that day as well. So important. Now, there is also a couple of days later after the 17th on the 20th, which there's another conjunction of, meaning they're together, the planets of Saturn and Neptune, they're coming together in at 0 degrees Aries. And so this is a peak, a rare alignment, and it's a beginning of a whole new energetic cycle because those planets haven't been in the sign of Aries in a long time. But I'll talk more about that next week because it's the day after we do the show on the 19th. So let me get into the. Okay, let's see. So we got Vicky, give me a couple of stars, and ESCO says A, and somebody saying hi, Sam. So hi, Sam. Okay, so let's move on and talk about, whoops, remove that comment, and let's talk about disclosure. So, when we're talking about innovation and this kind of thing, ETs, the technology of ETs, all very important and in line with the Aquarian energy. So UFO UAP disclosure, I always have a little segment to talk about this. And if you haven't already, you got to check out the newparadigminstitute.org. You can sign up for their newsletter and find out about what's happening in the realm of disclosure as far as UFOs and unidentified anomalous phenomena. Our government has been working with these ETs. This has come out when David Grush came before Congress, and this is, just what's happening. And not only that, so I've been doing different shows and things, and one of the series that I've started is this disclosure dialogue. So I'm going to play a little clip with my interview with Sarah Nelson, who's the executive director of the New Paradigm Institute. take this off here so you can actually learn a little bit about why it is so important. The ETs basically have technology that can help get rid of the nuclear waste that we have been playing with, as civilization, whether it's in power grids or, nuclear warheads and this kind of thing. So she addresses this in this clip. So let me play this clip for you.
Hopefully, we'll put to rest this entire nuclear arms race and the armament race, because it's a threat to all life on planet Earth, and it's ridiculous at this point that we're still doing this. It's so dangerous, and we should be able to deal with our pollution issues, because for instance, just give you an example on this, in Fukushima, where there was a lot of release of very dangerous radiation. There were UFOs. The scientists had been measuring the levels of radiation in this area of land that had been so contaminated, and so they knew what the levels were. And then when the ships came, the UFOs, and were around, and then when they left, they measured it, and it was less radiation. So they realized there was something that they knew how to do that could deal with that. That could be extremely important to us, because we have nuclear facilities on the ocean all over the world. They're all over the place, because they need the water to keep as a coolant for these nuclear plants. And so there's all this waste that's been collected and buried in really temporary containers that eventually leak. But if we have sea rise, if we got, for instance, to 100 feet of sea rise, which we might if you have the melting of all the glaciers everywhere, then all of that's going to get invaded, all of that waste. So anyway, there's a whole movement on pollution. There's a whole movement on nuclear war and nuclear weapons and peace. There's another one on climate and the environment, and which the ETs have been talking to us, saying, you're affecting the biosphere. You're not taking care of your planet properly. You shouldn't be doing this. I mean, they've over and over again dealt with pollution, climate change, and the environment, and nuclear, over and over the years, over the decades. So we know there's a possibility that they have techniques that could be very helpful to us.
So that was Sarah Nelson. Again, she's with the New Paradigm Institute, and you can check out the full conversation with her. It's actually over an hour long on tinyurl.com/disclosure dialogue 6, with both D's capitalized. And that way you can get to the whole episode there. So, yeah, definitely check her out. Sign up for the New Paradigm Institute. The ETs, are here and, they have technology and they're here to help us. So, another thing I wanted to share is that I am doing a series, and it should come out either on Tuesday or Wednesday of next week, the first part, called Galactic Good Vibes. And this is where I actually interview experiencers, people who have had experiences and communication with different ETs. And my first guest is Dr. Melanie Barton, who's my co-lead for the New Paradigm Institute in the state of Florida. I'm a volunteer for the Citizens for Disclosure, which is part of the New Paradigm Institute. And yeah, you'll be hearing all about her stories. I'm editing it right now, and it'll be ready by either Tuesday or Wednesday of next week. So just check the YouTube channel at Raise Your Vibe and Thrive, which is the Good Vibes TV channel. So let's now move to conscious activism. And I want to share some of these comments here. Mojo's Fire is saying, hello there, hello. And this is Monique. She's an experiencer as well. And ESCOM3X is saying, thanks for the information. Thank you, thank you. And, and he or she needs to go, got to go, G to G. but thanks for watching. And Mojo's Fire is also saying that Melanie Barton is excellent. So yeah, she has a very unique story. She's been communicating with ETs from when she was a young child. And yeah, so very interesting. Tune in for that. So let's talk about conscious activism. Now, I was calling this segment spiritual activism, but it feels right to switch it to conscious activism. And I want to take a moment to celebrate inspiring examples of conscious activism that's happening right now, showing us that change can be creative, peaceful, and powerful. So the first one I want to share is about it's called the Melt the Ice hat, which is craftivism in action. So kind of being crafty and activism together. So basically, in Minnesota, there are crafters that are turning knitting into action with the Melt the Ice hat. This is a red hat that was inspired by Norwegian resistance people, activists from World War II, right, in Norway. And it's being sold, the pattern for this hat is being sold to raise funds for immigrant support organizations in Minnesota. So every hat that's made or the pattern purchased helps families impacted by this federal enforcement. So it's a small act with a big impact. And the small business is called Needle and Skein, and it's a yarn shop in Minneapolis owned by Gilal Marshall. So this simple little red hat can be knitted or crocheted, and I'm going to give you the two links. This one link will take you to the crocheted hat, and each are $5. So I already, yeah, and you download it. You download the PDF for the pattern. So you can get one that's for crochet. That's the GVTV crochet melt ice hat, or you can get the knitted pattern when you go to tinyurl.com/capital GVTV knit melt ice hat. So all proceeds from this digital pattern, it's sold for $5 each. They're donated to the local nonprofit groups that help immigrant families and victims affected by this federal immigration enforcement actions that are happening. And to date, the project has raised hundreds of thousands of dollars. People from all around the world have been buying these patterns. So that these donations are going to assistance programs such as the St. Louis Park Emergency Program and the Immigrant Rapid Response Fund. So I just saw, I came across that, and I just thought it was just a one. I mean, I like to crochet and knit. I'm more of a crocheter than knitter, but I like the pattern, the look of the knitted hat better. But it has that little braid on there, which is kind of what makes it distinct. All right, so let's talk more about activism in action. So another example that we have of this are the monks, right? The Buddhist monks, their walk for peace concluded in Washington, D.C. This week, just a couple of days ago. And this happened, of course, on the East Coast. So we're going from Minnesota to the East Coast now. There are 19 Buddhist monks that just completed this 15-week, 2,300-mile walk. And some of them were walking barefoot, and they had many different issues if you followed them, as far as, blisters on the feet and things like that. They eventually did start wearing shoes and socks and stuff, so they were protecting their feet. But this walk for peace, they started in Texas and ended up in Washington, D.C. Their journey wasn't a protest, though. It was a spiritual act of compassion and mindfulness, sharing loving kindness with every community that they pass through. So it's a beautiful reminder that activism doesn't always have to be loud statements. The most powerful change comes from one mindful step at a time. So, I want to share that with you. Whoops. And the next example of activism that's just happened this past week is with Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny was on the biggest stage of the world. And so, even on the biggest stage, creative activism shines. So, this past Sunday at the Super Bowl halftime show, Bad Bunny used music, culture, and symbolism to share a message that love is more powerful than hate. So, from celebrating cultural pride to displaying flags and powerful affirmations like Together We Are America, he reminded us that joy, unity, and visibility can also be forms of activism. So, whether it's knitting a hat, walking across the continent, or performing for millions, these examples show that conscious, creative action rooted in compassion, courage, and connection can ripple out and make a real change. So, my question is to you: what small action can you take to raise your vibration and support your community? 'Cause that's what we're all about. One of the things I've mentioned in the past is just meditate every day, 2 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, whatever time zone that translates for you. This is something Pam Gregory has been promoting for over a year now. And collectively, there's more power when there's more people coming together. So, uh, just check our comments here. And just far as saying love is more powerful than hate. And absolutely, absolutely. Okay, so got some comments here that we're going to delete because we have that right. And yeah, it's all about love. So, what I like to do now is prepare us for a meditation. I've been um, sharing a guided meditation every week, and I've kind of moved it around in the show. And this week's meditation is called Standing at the Threshold. So let us get ready for this. Let me get my music going. Make sure it's not too loud. And before we begin, let's take a moment to settle in, sit comfortably, or stand if you prefer, and let your body feel supported. Now, don't do this if you're driving or operating heavy equipment. You can always come back to this video and play it when you're in a better space to do a meditation. But this is to help get us ready for this new moon and solar eclipse happening on Tuesday. So, if you'd like, close your eyes if that feels safe, and allow yourself to arrive fully in this moment. This is your sacred pause. This is a chance to breathe, to center, and connect with the energy of the new moon and the fire horse. Now take a deep breath and let it out slowly. Release any tension in your shoulders, your jaw, your hands. Let your mind soften. Now imagine yourself standing at the edge of a wide open space. The air is crisp, filled with quiet possibility. Before you stands the fire horse, strong, calm, alert. Its eyes hold ancient wisdom. Its energy is powerful, yet patient. You're not mounting the horse yet. This is the sacred pause, the threshold between what has been and what is coming. You are safe, you are steady, you are ready. Now place your hand over your heart and feel its steady rhythm, grounding you into the present. Align with the fire horse's energy. poised, confident, and full of courage. Affirm softly, aloud, or in your mind, I am ready to move when the timing is right. I trust my path. I honor my pause. Now notice the fire horse lower its head in recognition, a gesture of trust and mutual respect. Feel the energy of the approaching new moon in Aquarius, bringing new beginnings, bold intentions, and visionary clarity. Allow this cosmic support to fill you, the quiet power before the leap. Now rest here for a few breaths, poised, grounded, prepared. Now when you're ready, begin to bring your awareness back to your body. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Notice the room around you. Take a final deep breath, feeling ready, feeling courage and clarity in your heart. Now gently open your eyes, carrying the sense of possibility and alignment within you, into your day, and into this new lunar cycle. So how was that? Again, if you like this meditation, you can come back to it, just replay it, all the way up until the new moon. And hopefully this helps you get from our mind to our heart, because that alignment, that coherence that we're creating is something that's really important to do, to center ourselves so that we can be in the eye of the hurricane, not in the hurricane. Because as the fire horse energy happens, things will be moving faster and quickly. And it's, the best way to handle it is to be centered within. So let's now talk about the Oracle spread of the week. Every week I've been using a spread from this 111 Oracle spreads for every day. If you like this book, you can actually get it. Go to good-vibes.tv and you can get it from my Amazon store. And so what I'm doing is, for the month of January, we did 1 card spreads. For the month of February, we're doing 2 card spreads. And the spread that we're doing today is called the Love and Appreciation spread. And this is because we've got Valentine's Day happening on Saturday. So happy Valentine's Day to everyone. So I want to share with you the spread. So the spread is shaped like a simple heart. And what I mean by that is the 2 cards are going to go like this, kind of like a heart, right? So that's kind of how the layout is. And let me read you this description. So, shaped like a simple heart, this spread is designed to help you pause and focus on love, the love and appreciation you have for yourself. Use this as an opportunity to bring greater awareness and intentionality to your relationship with yourself by laying out this spread whenever you need some self care. And, to to be able to love other people, we need to love ourselves. We have to fill our own well first, so we have a way to fill, to share that excess, share from abundance, not from scarcity. That's one of the big teachings in metaphysics, is to, our source is creator, and filling that source through meditation, through loving kindness toward ourselves, just different ways of self-care and self-love. It's not selfish. This is the healthy way to live. You fill your own cup, and then out of the overflow, that's what you share with other people. But again, it's about guiding each of us to connect to our higher selves, to creator, to spirit, whatever word you have for God or all that is. So the first card here represents a quality to love and embrace about yourself. And then the second card is how to appreciate and be thankful for that quality. So I'm going to shuffle the cards, and I'm using this Psychic Tarot deck. I'm going to use the same deck every spread until I feel like switching. So this is a tarot deck. It's a pocket oracle tarot deck by John Holland again. And if you like this deck, you can get it from my Amazon store. Just go to good-vibes.tv. So the first card we're going to pick again represents a quality to love and embrace about yourself. So let's see what card we get. And I'm going to pick the two cards right now. And whether you're watching this now or on the replay or even another time, that's not today, it doesn't matter. Spirit is always talking to us. And, I love using oracle cards and tarot decks and these kind of things to communicate with spirit, because it's a great tool. It's kind of like, I see it as a cell phone to the universe. So the first card I've got is patience. Patience. And that's card number 14 in the traditional, in the tarot deck, one of the major arcanas. And traditionally, it is the temperance card. So the temperance card has to do with balance and this kind of thing. So again, what is the quality to love and embrace about yourself? And I'll read you this card, meaning this card signifies the need for patience, self-control, adjustment, moderation, and balance when dealing with others as well as yourself. This could be in the areas of how you think and work, and how you handle school, recreation, the people in your life, or the spiritual path that's set before you. As a soul, you have more than one aspect of yourself to draw upon for support. It's all about integration and learning to blend and balance both the physical and the spiritual. You're an ethereal being in a physical body, enjoying a human experience. Therefore, since you're both, you should honor all of you. If you go through life denying yourself the joy of combining these aspects, you're missing out on so much of what the world has to offer. Why accept a life that's half lived? The patience card or the temperance card reminds you to open your heart and mind and allow yourself to listen to other people's ideas, thoughts, and perspectives. Blissful harmony can be achieved when everyone learns to work as one. All benefit. Listening, sharing, and reaching out will help you renew your faith in yourself and humankind. You'll become more aware of the miracles around you as well as the ones that you have a hand in creating. So patience, temperance, again, the idea that we're both physical and spiritual beings at the same time, in balance. So that is a quality to embrace about yourself. The second card that we're getting is this Prosperity Begins card. So let me pull that up. I have to kind of decipher, since this deck is a little different than a traditional tarot deck. The red border represents the physical, which are the pentacles. So this is number 1, Prosperity Begins. So Ace of Pentacles, which usually means prosperity. Um, this card brings a message of beginnings, prosperity, wealth, and new business, which could soon be in the palm of your hand. It may result from your hard work, past efforts, and investments, or it could show up unexpectedly. It may even be presented as a gift. With careful and diligent planning, recent endeavors and money making ideas show great possibilities and promises of monetary gains. This is a time to focus on the most beneficial outcome. Expect the best and envision that project or new job having a successful result. Feel it, see it, and most important, believe it. When you focus on abundance and the positive aspects of the material world and offer gratitude, prosperity in all forms will flow even more freely. So, that card again represents card number 2, how to appreciate and be thankful for that quality about balance. So, putting these two cards together, just like this. The qualities of balance in your life, your spiritual balance and your spiritual balance and your physical balance, the work you've done, um, will bring prosperity, basically. This page. And how to appreciate and be thankful for that quality is basically how we are grateful for different things. If someone gives you a gift, do you say, "Oh, I don't need that," or do you accept it with gratitude? Do you graciously receive? That's really important. How we receive when somebody gives a gift, even if you don't need that particular thing. That person is giving out of their heart. And perhaps there are ways that you've given things because you've filled your cup, so you're giving to people. And, I had a situation, I tried to give something to somebody and they didn't want it because they didn't like what I was giving them. So they said, no, thanks. And I guess that's fine. I didn't feel insulted or anything. But somehow that message is in there. So this is the love and appreciation spread. And hopefully you got something out of that. Again, use your own intuition because, my interpretation may not be the interpretation that you get from it. But it's definitely something to consider as, as we do this oracle spread. Okay, so the next thing I have for everyone is the tip of the week to raise our vibration. So last week's tip was to journal your negative thoughts and transmute them to positive ones. Did you do that? Is that something that you practice? And if you missed last week, here's a tip that you can do that can really help you transmute any negative thoughts you have to positive ones. Now, this week's tip of the week is to align with the cosmic energies. And I've got a couple of different exercises here, some questions, some journal prompts that you can use. So, a reflection exercise is to ask yourself, what am I ready to release? As we're in this waning part of the moon and just before the new moon, ask yourself, what am I ready to release as the first step? Second step is your intention exercise. Envision what you want to create during the next lunar cycle. What is it that you want? If we're not focused on what it is that we want, we may not get it. We have to be clear because the universe responds to what we're doing, what we're thinking. So it's important to be clear on what we want, to have goals. Because if we're not, we're just bopping around the ocean like a ship without a rudder and just going wherever. And we are here to be captains of our ship, not to just, go with, yes, there's go with the flow, but you got to have some general direction. You got to have a compass to know that you want to get to a certain place. And that's important. And the activation part of this exercise is to step into the fire horse energy by taking one bold action that aligns with your highest vision. So think about that. What bold action can you take that aligns with your highest vision? I'm starting this Galactic Good Vibes series that's about experiencers. And for many, that might be taboo, or talking about UFOs or UAPs might be taboo. But I don't care. I'm going to do what I'm going to do. A long time ago, being 62 years old, I gave up caring about what other people think of me, and so, you know, again, being captors of our own ship, it's what we think and it's what we want to do. What this is a life, our life is a gift given to us. So how are you going to express the gift that you've been given? So again, tip of the week, align with these cosmic energies and tune in as we get ready for this new moon. All right, my friends, that's all that I've got for you today. I want to thank you for watching and wish you a great week. Have a great solar eclipse, new moon, year of the fire horse Tuesday coming up. And, feel free to come back to this video so that you can do the meditation or uh, reflect on any of the exercises I've given you. So thank you so much for watching, and peace out, everyone. Till next time.